Hi, my name is Anna Mann, and this is my Reading Buddy portfolio. So I worked with a little girl, and I gave her the pseudonym of Abby. She's a third grader at Emmanuel Lutheran Elementary. She has 2 younger siblings and 3 older siblings. She's super shy and very sweet. Her favorite color is red, like mine. We actually had a lot in common, so that was fun. And then she wrote very slowly and deliberately, which was just kind of how she did things, so we went at her pace throughout the sessions. So I gave her the reader self-perception scale, and she chose to read it by herself. And I told her to let me know if she needed anything or if she didn't understand what it was asking. So overall, her general perception, she gave herself a 5 out of 5, which is good. Progress, she gave herself a 32, which is below the low category. So I was sure to let her know that she was progressing throughout our sessions together. And then observational comparison, like comparing herself to others, to her classmates, was about average. A little bit higher than average, I guess. Social feedback was 36, which was average to high, as was physiological states. So overall, it was pretty good. And then I gave her the elementary reading attitude survey, and she gave herself mostly 3s, which was the slightly smiling Garfield. And then her full RAS score was 56, and so her raw score for recreational was 30 and her academic was 27. So the percentage was she actually liked recreational reading better. She likes reading at home with her siblings and her parents. And then academic was lower just because she doesn't always like the subjects in school. She didn't like the Iditarod so much because she thought that was kind of boring. It was history, so. And then for the QRI 5 story, she was at a level 3 according to our word list and what I came up with that. So we read the story, A Trip to the Zoo, which she liked better than the Iditarod. It was about a page long. Her total number of miscues was 14. Most of those came from saying Mary or Marie for the girl in the story. Her name was Maria. So I think that just came with either the pressure of having to read this story to a strange person, or with just reading too fast. She only had one meaning change miscue, so that was good. It didn't affect her comprehension at all. Total accuracy was at the instructional level, and total acceptability was independent. I calculated her words correct per minute at 82, which was pretty good. And then I asked her the comprehension questions, and for explicit, she got a 4 out of 4 without lookbacks, and then again with lookbacks, obviously. And then for implicit, she got a 3 out of 4 without lookbacks, and then she got a 4 out of 4 with lookbacks. So that was very good. So my favorite lessons. I had 2 favorite lessons. They were later in our sessions, and we worked with the book Peter Pan, which is a book I picked up. And so the first one, I created a vocabulary activity. So what we did for this was I had a vocab word from the book, and we tried to use context clues from the book to figure out what the word meant. And if she didn't know what the word meant from the book, and she didn't know it from being exposed to it, I had her look it up in the dictionary from dictionary.com online. It's actually a kid's version of it, so that was fun because she liked to use the computer, and all her classmates were using the computer when they had free time, which is what she was missing out on. So I let her use mine, and then I read Peter Pan to her, and after I read it to her, I asked her a few comprehension questions. So there were questions like, who was Peter Pan? Who was Captain Hook? Why was his name Captain Hook? Who was Tinkerbell? How did she help save Peter Pan's life? A bunch of questions like that. So I had like 10 questions, I think, and she answered them. She comprehends things very well. So even though she didn't read A Trip to the Zoo very quickly and she stumbled over some words, she does comprehend really well. So that's fun. And then for the second lesson, we actually did word sorts with these two, but she did well with those. There wasn't much to comment on. They weren't my favorite part of the lesson. So then for the second one, Abby read Peter Pan out loud to me, and that was fun because I could tell that for some of the vocabulary words we went over with the activity, she understood them and could read them faster while reading. So that was cool. That was really fun. And I noticed that with the Iditarod, the more she was exposed to a word and the more I repeated how you say it, the more comfortable she got with saying it. So that was really good. I think she just needs more exposure to certain words. And then, so after she read this to me, I had her retell the story on her own pieces of paper. Well, I printed them. And she retold the story in her own words, which was really fun. She actually remembered a lot more of the story than I did. She comprehends really well. She even remembered Wendy's two brothers' names, which I didn't, and I've read the story 10 times, and I've watched the movie. So that was fun. And then we actually went through it together and changed some spelling, added some punctuation. I taught her a few things about that. So it was cool to see how she progressed through reading Peter Pan, and just the more exposure she had, the better she did with that. So the 3 explicit course concepts, the first one was comprehension. We didn't really work on comprehension so much as I told her she was really good at it, and I explained what the word comprehension means, and I just kind of gave her a little bit of a boost with that and how well she's doing. So that was good. We didn't really work on it, but it applies to her. And then fluency and prosody. So she's not very fluent still. We worked on it a little bit with Iditarod because she didn't know how to read things very well, and she wasn't sure how to pause or to change her voice when things were in parentheses. She didn't understand. She was just reading it straight through. And she also didn't pause a whole lot after periods. So I taught her the whole periods like a stop sign type thing. And so that was fun. She learned a lot, I think, from that. And then we worked a little bit on prosody, which she did a lot better with Peter Pan. And I think this was just due to the fact that there's a lot more dialogue in it than other stories we read. So she knew how to read that. And it was fun to see her prosody change over our time together. And the last one was morphemic awareness. So I taught her to look for familiar words or roots. So she would often spell choose as chose, or she would swap words around like that. So I taught her the double O is the oo, like moose, and little things like that that she can continue to use and learn. I mean, she's only in 3rd grade, so her spelling will get better. But I taught her a few things that dealt with a morphemic awareness. So overall, she progressed a lot during our 8 sessions. So there are 8 short sessions, but we did do a lot of work, and she became more confident in both her spelling and her reading, and she feels more comfortable reading out loud now. I think it's also just a thing of her getting comfortable with you or with whoever she's reading to, so that was interesting. She also sounded out words more than just writing down how she thought they were spelled. She's a pretty good speller. Like, she knows what letters to use, she just doesn't always know the order. So I taught her to sound it out, and so she wasn't missing little R's or certain things like that. And then I taught her a little bit about silent letters. So hopefully that helps her for the future. I also taught her a bit about punctuation and editing, which we did with the retell. And I wish I had given or had more time so I could have given her the elementary spelling inventory test again, because I think that she would do better now. So I don't know, maybe for next time. So in conclusion, I loved being able to tutor Abby. It was a break I needed from school and work and stress. It was the confirmation that I needed to let me know that I'm in the right major and that this is what I truly want to do. It's also fun to have a developing relationship where Abby got excited to see me each week. So I really enjoyed that and getting to know her. I struggle the most with not having a lot of time because I was sick one week, and she was sick another week, and she also had 2 days off of school. So in the end, I ended up taking time out of my schedule to go in and spend more time with her, which was really fun. If I were to change anything, it would to make the length of tutoring longer, and to also find a specific room where I could be with just Abby or like with the other groups that were in there, because it was hard to hear her. But overall, it was a very good experience and I really enjoyed it.